Hello, dear students. Today we are going to start the new chapter of your 7th standard, that is Respiration in Organisms. So, in this chapter, we are going to study about the how the respiration is takes place in human beings, in plants, and along with the human beings and the plants, other organisms like cockroach and the earthworm. So, in case of cockroach and earthworm, we are going to see how the breathing is takes place. Okay, so first of all, you must know what is the respiration, where does it locate, what are the some reactions takes place during the respiration process. That may be in case of a human beings or animals, along with them the inside the plants also. So you may wonder that by hearing, is it possible the respiration also takes place in the plants? Yes, it is also takes place in the plants because many of the processes are similar to human beings and other organisms as in case of the plants also. So there is a common thing in between human and the plant that we are going to see. So you can understand how the respiration is similar as takes place in the human beings along with inside the plants also. So we will see what are the topics we are going to cover in this chapter. The topics to be covered: introduction, type of respirations, those are aerobic and anaerobic respiration. Breathing means what? Breathing in cockroach, breathing in earthworm, breathing in aquatic animals, respiration in plants. So in this chapter, along with the respiration, we are going to study about the breathing also, because most of the people think that the respiration and breathing, the method or the process is the same one, but it's not like that. There is a slight or huge difference that we are going to study in this chapter, so you will clear your doubts about the breathing and respiration. So you will understand the differentiation, then you can easily differentiate. These topics are going to be repeated in higher classes, so it's better to know the basic things in this class only. Okay, so we will see what is the respiration. I always said that the respiration process is the process in which the food material breakdowns. Okay, when we used to take the food along with the external oxygen, okay, it enters in our body, and that food get a breakdown in a small particles. Is it that breakdown of small particles will get absorbed inside the body? So in the nutrition in animals or the human beings, we have studied about the whole procedure, how the different type of life processes takes place, and in the human beings and animals, the breakdown of food material, okay, when we used to consume, then breakdown, then absorption, is it, then the excretion, all these processes takes place stepwise. So same thing, after taking the food material, it will goes to the next step, that is the breakdown. After the breakdown procedure, it will get absorbed, because the breakdown material which leads to convert them in a different particles, is it, then whatever the nutrition will be there, that is going to be absorbed, is it. So that absorbed the material will nothing but a energy, okay, in the form of energy. So that is actually the respiration process. So the breakdown of food material takes place in a smaller particle, and that will get absorbed as in the form of a energy. So after breakdowning the food material, the energy synthesis can be takes place. So that is actually the respiration process. So the respiration process is a life process, okay, and it involving intake of oxygen from surroundings, and oxidation of a food material takes place, and release of a energy takes place, and elimination of carbon dioxide produced as a byproduct. So you will understand what is the byproduct, okay, how it is released, okay. In the breathing process also, the carbon dioxide will get released out. So in case of respiration also, there is a similarity, okay. We will see during the chemical reaction. So what is the first sentence here? that is intake of oxygen from surrounding. Initially I said the respiration is a process in which the food, when we can consume, at that time we used to take a external oxygen, means a surrounding oxygen. Okay, next, oxidation of food material takes place means what? That is the breakdown of food material takes place, is it? Oxidation means the by using a oxygen molecule, is it? Along with the food we are consuming the oxygen, it means that the food is going to be breakdown in presence of the oxygen molecule. Next, release of energy, that is nothing but a absorption. So during the absorption what happens? The released energy by the breakdown material, that is going to be absorbed or transported towards the different body parts. Next, elimination of a carbon dioxide. So after absorption, whatever the waste material or unwanted material will be there, that should be get excreted or inhalated, is it? So that's why it should be go outside or released outside. So that will be a byproduct, or the end product will be the carbon dioxide molecule. So we will see actual process of a respiration along with the chemical reaction. So oxidation of assimilated molecules releases their bond energy. So what happens when the food material breakdowns, when the respiration process takes place, oxidation of a food material takes place, at that time the release of bond energy takes place. So see the reaction what it says. So see, glucose molecule plus oxygen in presence of a cellular respiration, means this process is where it is taking place inside the cell. That's why this type of a respiration is called as a cellular respiration process. So where does it takes place? Inside the cell. There is one organelle inside our body. So in each and every cell, what is the cell? Cell is a basic structural and functional unit of life. So inside the cell many organelles are present. So out of that, the one organelle is called as a powerhouse of the cell. Why it is called as a powerhouse of the cell? Because it produces the energy molecules. So how it produces the energy molecules? Through the respiration process. So that organelle name is mitochondria. So inside the mitochondria the respiration takes place. So what is the location of respiration process? That is the mitochondria. So inside the mitochondria respiration process takes place, and the energy releases in the form of ATP molecules. So the ATP is adenosine triphosphate. So that is a chemical wording. So the location of respiration process is, that is a cellular one. That's why it is called as a cellular respiration, or inside the mitochondria the respiration process takes place. So what is the byproduct? Means after breakdown of a food material, so what, which is the food material in this chemical reaction? That is the glucose molecules. So glucose molecule is combining with oxygen, and it is going to be produced or end up the product with carbon dioxide plus water molecules and with some energies. Okay, so this energies are in some quantities. As the different stages of respiration takes place, likewise the energy also releases in some quantities. Those are in a particular ways. Whenever you will go in higher classes, you will see the different type of stages. Okay, the breakdown of glucose molecule and their different products. So that will releases a different kinds of ATP molecules or the energy. So for your kind information, just keep in mind that the ATP is nothing but an energy molecule. So after breakdown of molecules or the food material, the energy which releases, that is in the form of ATP, means inside the mitochondria or inside the cell, the the energy is stored in the form of chemical wording, that is a adenosine triphosphate, nothing but a ATP molecules. Okay, so next, so whenever the question will arise, what is the respiration? Okay, where does the respiration takes place? And next question what is the chemical reaction of the respiration process, cellular respiration process, and what are the byproducts of the respiration process, then at that time you had to mention these kind of answers. Okay, so whenever the question will arise that what are the byproducts of the respiration process, then you can able to answer those are carbon dioxide, water molecules, and some kind of energy in the form of ATP molecules. Okay, so next, the main topic about the respiration, that is divided in two ways, means the respiration takes place in the two ways. So why it is takes place in the two ways, that are there is also one reason. So see guys, the two respiration processes are in the form of aerobic and anaerobic. So why it is a aerobic and why it is a anaerobic? See, whenever we used to take a oxygen along with the food material, that kind of a respiration is called as a aerobic respiration. The aerobic word always come for the oxygen consist. Okay, oxygen carrying. Okay, so anaerobic means what? This is just vice versa to the aerobic condition. So anaerobic respiration means in absence of oxygen molecule. Okay, in absence of oxygen molecule, whichever type of reaction takes place in our body, that is called as a anaerobic respiration process. So there is a similarity that one, in the both cases the chemical reactions are different but the byproduct will be the same, means in some kind of in different quantities, but in different quantities the energy can be released. Means in aerobic respiration, just we have seen, when the glucose molecule break down, some kind of energy will releases. In case of anaerobic respiration also, some quantity of energy also releases, but it is in a less quantity as compared to the aerobic respiration. So now let's see, the aerobic respiration means what? The process of uptaking of a food along with the oxygen, means in presence of the oxygen, that is nothing but a aerobic respiration. Means the respiration process which takes place in presence of oxygen molecule, that it is called as a respiration process. So during this process, what are the different kind of things takes place? Breakdown of a glucose in presence of oxygen to release some kind of energy. Next, the glucose molecule get oxidized to form a carbon dioxide to release a water molecule along with some kind of energy in the form of ATP molecules. So this is takes place inside the human beings, okay, along with the plants also. So that is a different kind, we will see later. Next is anaerobic respiration. So in this process what happen? Conversion of glucose into alcohol or the acid in absence of oxygen to release energy. So here are some kind of byproducts are different one, because the oxygen is not going to be carried along with the food material, is it? So even if we are not taking any kind of a food material for a particular or while some time, then also this kind of a respiration process takes place inside our body. Okay, so when it will take place, let's see. So the conversion of a glucose into alcohol or the some kind of a lactic acid type of a, things in absence of oxygen to release the energy. So in this process what happens, the oxygen cannot be taken and the product will be alcohol and some kind of acids, and it will leads to form a some carbon dioxide and the energy in the form of ATP. So when does this kind of anaerobic respiration takes place? See, when there is a lackness of a glucose inside our body, means you are starving. Okay, sometime if you on a fast or starvation, and sometime there is some scarcity of glucose in your body and you are not able to have a food material in particular timing period. Okay, so at that time also you will not feel hungry and any kind of a tiredness. Why? Because the actual the food material is already stored in your body in the form of a fats. Okay, that is going to be breakdown, is it? So that's why we don't feel hungry. So that is the reason the stored food material is going to be reabsorbed, that is going to be reused, is it, through the anaerobic respiration process. So at that time the oxygen cannot be required because we are not taking a food at that time, because those are actually stored. So those kind of a food is going to be breakdown to release some kind of alcohols, that may be ethanol, and some kind of acids like lactic acids. Okay, so along with carbon dioxide and some kind of energy, that is the ATP molecules, will be released. So what are the byproducts of the anaerobic respiration? Ethanol, or you can say alcohol or acids, plus carbon dioxide, and along with ATP molecules. So this is about the anaerobic and aerobic respiration. So both takes place inside the cell only, but the different timing will be there. Means whenever you starve or whenever you are not having any food material, then also respiration takes place without having a food, that is the anaerobic. And when you take a food along with the oxygen surrounding, that is the aerobic respiration. So different definitions are there, different kind of things involved in them, and different reactions and different byproducts, but some kind of energy will be released at the end of their reaction. So the energy which releases during our aerobic respiration, that is with high quantity of energy, but in anaerobic respiration, the ATP molecules or the energy will releases in very small quantity. Okay, that may be 2 to 3 ATPs. Okay, in aerobic respiration near about 36 or 38 ATPs will be releases. Those are actually calculated in kilocalories. Okay, so next is, what is the breathing? Breathing is normally we says that uptake of oxygen and releasing of a carbon dioxide. That is the simple breathing procedure that we does by a respiration process. We normally says the respiration means inhalation of oxygen and releasing of a carbon dioxide, but that is the actual breathing process. So the process in which air is taken, air is nothing but a oxygen molecule into and expelled out of the lungs, means taking of oxygen and releasing of a carbon dioxide. So see guys, the breathing rate means what? So in 1 minute, how many times we can breathe? Means see guys, a number of times a person breathes in a 1 minute, near about 15 to 10, yes, 15 to 18 times per minute. 15 to 18 times per minute the particular person used to be breathe, means in one minute, or you can say, or for example, like if you take one inside oxygen, okay, and releasing one outside of carbon dioxide, that is equal to one breathing, is it? The most of the thing that we are taking only oxygen, it means that that is only the breathing, and releasing the carbon dioxide, that is also breathing. No, that both considered together a one breathing, means taking oxygen and releasing carbon dioxide, that whole process is a one breathing. Okay, so this is about takes place 15 to 18 times per minute guys. So this was about the today's topics which we have learned and studied. So these were the basic things for your classes, and it will be repeated for your classes also. So it's better to understand now only. For any doubts and difficulties, you can ask me anytime. Till that, thank you.